Big LEZ'S League, an all rugby league experience. Hello, welcome back to Big LEZ'S League, an all rugby league experience. I'm your host, Big Les. Let's talk about your Friday night of football that was the Tigers, the Eels, the Rabbitohs and Roosters. Was lucky enough to get out to that Rabbitohs and Roosters game myself. We got a little bit of a scoop from that game as well. Some news about the Rabbitohs, some re-signings and a new signing that's been confirmed for either next year or the year after. We talked about on the podcast already. That one would have come out on Saturday, so make sure you go ahead and listen to that one as well. But before you do, have a listen to this one, the Friday review of round 27, the Tigers, Eels, Rabbitohs, Roosters. We'll talk about the Tigers and the Eels first. 60-26, the final scoreline. A huge second half here for the Parramatta Eels. It was 22-10 at halftime, a pretty even game at halftime as well. But big performances from Will Penasini, from Mike Acevo there on the wing too, just an absolute wrecking ball. Bryce Cartwright had some nice moments. Gutho, Dylan Brown, some really, really solid performances in this game. But Penasini in the centres there was an absolute rugby league handful, along with Bryce Cartwright as well, making trouble on that right-hand side. Let's talk about this game. Really strong from the Parramatta Eels, and it's exactly how they would have wanted to end the year. A big statement at the back end of the season as well, just to finish on a positive note. As for the Tigers, their third straight wooden spoon. At least the consistency is there. Consistency is key after all. But it's definitely a habit that the Tigers want to get out of. You don't want to go into next year and have the same result. They've got a really, really solid team with some really, really solid players, and they're going to improve their team again. They've got to start to, go up. And we definitely saw, you can definitely tell that there's been improvement, you'd have to say, between the first spoon and now. There's definitely been improvement there. The competition, I think they've been a little bit unlucky as well, since the competition has evened out so much. We were talking about earlier on in the year, about around 2021, how even it was between 1st and 14th. I mean, it's just insane how even the competition is this season. And I think the West Tigers have been a bit unlucky in that sort of regard, that the top teams haven't really been the top teams. Because as I said, from 1st to 14th, 15th, was pretty even in regards to form. So Tigers definitely a little bit unlucky in that regard. However, we can definitely tell that there's been some improvement there. A bunch of injuries this season as well. You've got to remember throughout the side, inconsistency with the halves, which has been for a number of years. There hasn't really been a consistent halves pairing for at least 3 to 4 years at the Tigers. So they're just trying to work out as to what the future is going to be, which it looks like the future is going to be Galvin and Luai, which is going to be really exciting going into next year. I think that there's going to be a big focus on next year as well. And I almost think next year, the Tigers, they could go from 17th to at least 14th, 13th, 12th, which we'll talk about in the season preview and review in a few weeks' time. Just some news on that too, by the way, before we get carried away into this review. We sort of said on the podcast as well that there was going to be a week break and then we're going to get straight into the reviews. That's going to have to be put on hold. I am going away on grand final day to Queensland with the family. So we're actually going to be taking an actual week off the podcast at that stage. We're going to come back. We're going to record all of those, and then they're going to come out potentially 2 weeks after that grand final. So, stand by. We'll obviously record some content while we're away as well. I'll bring some of the kit over. We'll record some podcasts, potentially like some spin the wheel sort of stuff here and there. It won't be as consistent. We'll take a week off, doing reporting on news and stuff like that. As soon as I get back from that holiday, we'll record all of the news, updates, stuff like that that's happened post grand final. But yeah, in regards to the season reviews, that's probably going to come out 1 to 2 weeks after the grand final, because we were going to use that week after the grand final to start recording the reviews with a special guest that I'm getting on to record those reviews with. But that's going to have to be put on hold. As I said, I'm going away with the family, so we're going to work out all of those details and stuff like that a little bit later on. But let's get stuck in here. Eels, big performance led by Gutho, led by Penasini, Dylan Brown, Regan Campbell-Gillard through the middle was outstanding. It's the best performance from Parramatta that we've seen all year, easily. Just some really, really strong performances through the middle, which gave a lot of their guys momentum. Dynasty, it's the best game I've seen from him in the number 7 jersey. His kicking game was great. Dylan Brown, short kicking game was unreal. Running game was outstanding. Try assist, 2 tackle busts, 102 metres of 11 runs, 13 tackles. Had an offload in there as well. Just really dangerous. Talangi and Penasini in the centres. Will Penasini especially, obviously 2 tries. 203 metres, 6 tackle busts. He was just an absolute wrecking ball. You also had Hands, who was doing some great work out of 9. Really good service, getting in a 9, really, really dangerous. Regan Campbell-Gillard through the middle was a beast. 2 tackle busts, try assist, line break assist, line break. 35 tackles, only 1 miss there. For big Regan Campbell-Gillard, he was a gun. Kelma Tuolangi there on the edge, on the left-hand side. He was great. Bryce Cartwright as well, just making absolute havoc. Scored a try, 124 metres, 2 try assists, 2 tackle busts, and then 22 tackles there as well. A lot of 2s in there. He was outstanding. I thought that Offa Hangawa, that's the best game I've seen from him through the middle as well. In that 13 jersey, 167 run metres, 2 tackle busts, 23 tackles. Look, in regards to this performance was great. It was still a very scrappy game from both teams. 76% completions there from the Eels, 63% completions from the Tigers. It really got ugly in that second half. Lots of errors, 13 errors to 16, which is insane. 5 penalties to 4. At least the penalty count was down a bit. But look, as I said, extremely positive here for the Eels when you're having a bunch of guys performing as well as they did in this one. Sean Lane through the middle as well was great, I thought. Last week when he came on, had some nice touches. Makisi Makatoa, Luca Morietti, again, another strong performance after last week as well, playing 40 minutes in this game. He's really become a part of their rotation. I imagine will keep a spot going into next year as well. But let's talk about the Tigers for a little bit. The first half was definitely, for me, the most impressive, led by Lockie Galvin. 19 runs, 103 metres, 2 try assists. That cutout pass, that left winger, was just absolutely insane. I think it was the Junior Tupou try. The cutout pass for that one was absolutely put on a dime. He had 2 try assists, a line break assist, 103 metres. Kicked for 184 metres as well. I did majority of the kicking. Latu Whānau only did majority short kicks, but it was Lockie Galvin really leading the way there. And honestly, I think that he could most definitely wear the number 7 on his back. Just defensively, there's a few issues there. Was really the only criticism I'd have from this whole game from Lockie Galvin. 3 ineffective tackles. And then just defensive reads as well. Guys running around him a few times for most of those tries. It's the only criticism I'd have of him. The 2 tries that he set up were unreal. His first half was outstanding. So not really too much to down talk in terms of Lockie Galvin and his performance. I thought that he did quite well attacking-wise. Latu Whānau as well. I thought that he was an absolute beast. 8 tackle busts. He ran for 129 metres, 13 tackles in there as well, scored a try. Very, very dangerous Latu Whānau. He is going to be very, very fun to watch next season if he gets an opportunity. Whanua Pole as well, definitely the standout through the middle for the Tigers as well. He had 105 metres, 47 post-contact metres, 2 tackle busts, dangerous. Heath Mason too at fullback, 10 tackle busts, majority of those being in the first half, 130 metres or so, 4 kick defusals. I thought that he was great in the first half. Second half struggled a little bit. But look, some decent performances here and there. Samuel Afinu defensively, there is a few issues there that needs to be sorted out going into next season. It's just another guy where, his attack is outstanding and his combination with Galvin is just going to improve as the years go on. But defensively, there's a few issues there that he needs to sort out. Just some really bad reads. But other than that, really strong performance, in my opinion. Just unfortunate what happened in the second half. They got absolutely towed up and really didn't have many answers to what the Eels were throwing at them. There was 6 tries in that second half. So definitely a lot to answer for, and just a little bit of tape towards the back end of the season. But Mad Monday for both of these sides is definitely deserved. Let's see if the Tigers can get better next season. I'm sure they will with Luai coming into camp as well. As for Parramatta, great way to end the year. It's exactly how they would have wanted to end the year as well. Hoping that they can put together some good performances next year and get themselves back into the top 8 talk. Roosters, Rabbitohs. As I said, I got to go out to this one. Pretty decent game to go out to, especially the second half for South Sydney. Definitely a lot to like about that one. Roosters, decent performance. Obviously, the back end of the first half and to start the second half, they were outstanding, led by James Tedesco, 222 metres, 2 line breaks, 2 try assists, line break assist, 5 tackle busts. 4 tackles, 0 missed out there at fullback as well. Mark Nawonga-Nitawase, I thought that he was outstanding there on the wing. Had some great moments, scored a try early in the game as well of a beautiful kick from Sandon Smith. 122 metres, 15 runs, 3 tackle busts, 10 tackles, 0 missed. And look, big concern for him was defence coming into this game. Just watching some of his New South Wales Cup's highlights and just watching a little bit of him in New South Wales Cup. The one concern was his defence, still getting used to the defence. Obviously coming over from Union, but thought he did a great job in this game, handled himself very well, handled the contact very well, I thought too. So, look, Mark Nawonga-Nitawase, still trying to get used to that name. I thought that he was really great and showed some real positive signs. I also thought that Connor Watson there at 9 was great, played the full game or close to the full game. I thought that he had some really, really solid moments. I thought that Angus Crichton was outstanding as well on that left edge, 177 metres, 71 post contact, a line break assist, try assist, 4 tackle busts, 25 tackles. He was outstanding. Nava'u White there at 13 as well, 108 metres. Definitely got a lot of go forward through the middle of the park here, the Sydney Roosters. Siwa Wong off the bench too. I thought had some great moments, played 54 minutes too in the middle. I thought he had a nice stint. And speaking of great stints, Dilasel Va'a, my mate, I thought that he was outstanding. Only played 20 minutes. It seemed a lot longer than that, but 97 run meters, had 35 post contact, 2 tackle busts, and his runs off the kickoff were just absolutely unbelievable. He's 200 centimeters long, absolute unit, and he did extremely well. Very proud of that performance from him. I did send him a text after the game and sort of said maybe it's not the best idea to get one-on-one with a Burgess boy. Not the best idea there, but other than that, you cannot say he didn't have a great performance. I thought he had a real impact coming onto the field too, had some beautiful runs, and especially off the kickoff as well. Had a huge game, D. Larcel. So definitely some positive signs there. Definitely someone that you'd have to consider next year. I reckon he's definitely going to get a spot in this side going into next year, or at least halfway through the year. He's slowly going to progress into consistent NRL football, but he's definitely a guy that's going to be in and around this team in 2025. Absolute gun. Just signed a full-time top 30 contract too. So yeah, congratulations on that one, mate. Had a great debut. But yeah, maybe not getting one-on-one with a Burgess boy next time. Let's try and avoid that. But I think they'll be pretty easy since they're all in Super League now. Anyway, Terrell May off the bench I thought was nice. I thought that Blake Steep had a pretty decent game as well, 26 minutes. I think he jumped into 9 at the back end as well for the last 10 minutes or so too. So yeah, had a pretty decent game there. 13 tackles, 0 miss there as well for Blake Steep. Yeah, really solid performance here from the Roosters. The second half, Rabbitohs definitely came back into the fight a little bit off the back of Damien Cook. Did some great work going into that roaming 13 role in his last game for the Rabbitohs. Scored a try, 100 metres, 4 tackle bust in there as well. 48 tackles, only 1 missed. He was really solid. I thought that Tallis Duncan as well, playing in that lock forward role, that famous number 8 jersey, the Ronnie Coote jersey. 108 metres, 13 runs. 48 post contact, 20 tackles, only 1 missed. He played for 45 minutes as well. Big Moale, David Moale, I thought he did very well. Tom Burgess coming off in the front, starting in the front row, sorry. The first time, I believe, this season, first or second time this season. 105 metres, 14 runs, 42 post contact, 19 tackles. Thought he did very well in his last game for the Rabbitohs as well. Big kept the Wep and Havili off the bench in their milestone games. I thought did well. But I think that the Roosters, they sort of did shut down a lot of what we were throwing at them. There was that nice little period at the back end of the game, 70th, 73rd, 78th minute, the last 10 minutes, we sort of started laying it on. But for majority of the game, the Roosters did have a lot of answers for the attack we were throwing their way. So credit to the Roosters for that one. Big performance off the back of Tedesco at the back there, setting up some beautiful opportunities. Angus Crichton there on the edge. Thought that Sandon Smith coming in as well had some really nice moments. Had a try assist in there as well. 2 tackle busts. Really great running game. I thought he was really, really solid. But yeah, look, last 10 minutes, South Sydney nearly came back, and geez, wouldn't that have been a great way to end the year, getting a win over the Roosters? But I think I'm still pretty happy with this. I thought that the Roosters were going to run away with things like they sort of did, but for the Rabbitohs to climb their way back, show a bit of resilience, and get it to that 36-28 scoreline, very happy with that to end the year. We did see a lot of fight from those Rabbitohs boys in the last 10 minutes or so. Would have liked to have seen a bit more for a bit longer, but very happy with this performance from South Sydney, especially late in this game, trying to mount back a win. And look, South Sydney, the sky's only up. They're going to have a much better team next year. I'm super excited to see what the Rabbitohs can do if they can get back into the finals. Obviously, a few losses as well. Coote, Burgess, a few of the younger guys leaving as well, but we're getting plenty of guys back into this side. We're getting a back row stocks filled, and obviously a lot of guys injured at the moment coming back in Campbell Graham, most importantly. So very, very excited to see what South Sydney can do next year. But look, Mad Monday for the Rabbitohs, much deserved as well after that performance. As for the Roosters, a bit to focus on here in the next few weeks, obviously trying to get further and further through the final series without obviously Sam Walker, without Brandon Smith as well. He would have played his 150th game too if he wasn't injured, which is really, really annoying. We'll have to wait till next year to play his 150th. But Brandon Smith out, Sam Walker out, Victor Radley to potentially come back with that broken shoulder if they make the grand final. He said he might be able to come back, or maybe even a little bit sooner in the final series, which is just absolutely insane considering he's completely shattered his shoulder. But we'll have to wait and see on that one, but most likely he'll be out too. Roosters, a lot to fight for, a lot to play for. Can Sandon Smith still lead them to a grand final? Can Luke Keary, in his last year for the club, obviously get them to a grand final as well? Tedesco, it would really boost his stocks up in terms of his legacy if he was able to get this side to a grand final with all of the injuries that they've had last week. But definitely some positive signs here, especially in the first half and early in the second half as well for the Roosters, the way that they really laid it on and sort of defended that lead as well. So positive signs here for the Roosters. Let's see how far they can go in finals, obviously without some of their main men. That's full time. See you in the next one.